Hello, welcome everyone to today's session where we will be talking about generating leads specifically for AI. Consultants will be sharing with you quite a lot of insights on that front. But first, I wanted to actually start with the question, a bit controversial. Will AI kill or democratize consulting? And I would love to hear from you. And we'll be using Slido today. So if you don't mind scanning this QR code or going to slido.com and putting in the number 2304544, and let the voting begin on our first controversial question. Will AI kill or democratize consulting? So far we have democratizing winning by far. Okay, let's see if it stays this way. Super cool. If someone just recently joined, you can scan the QR code here on the left, or just go to slido.com and put the code 2304544. So we'll finish in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we agree, majority at least, claim that it will democratize. I agree with democratization, and that's the moment we would like to officially say hello to you and welcome you to this session. My name is Ivo Shapar, and with me, my partner in crime, Erin Peters.
Hello. Nice to see you all. Well, soon anyways.
So the plan for today, there is one very, very important message we wanted to get across. That by the end of today's call, so exactly in 55 minutes or less, you should be able to embed your own agent on your website that would be driving leads for you using the AIMI maturity index. So there is a very big win at the end. So we'll show you exactly how to do it. The agenda, general introduction to AIMI maturity index, so you know exactly how it works. Then we'll talk a bit about the consulting landscape, like from the first question. Yes, it's going through a big change, so we'll talk about it. And then the third part will show you how to create your personalized lead magnet step by step. We'll guide you through using AIMI maturity index. So without further ado, introduction to the index, and Erin, floor is yours.
Wonderful. Well, hello, everybody. I know a lot of you that are in the room here, but if you don't know me, then I'm Erin. Thank you for the great introduction. And you know, this all kind of started because Ivo and I have been in the future of workspace for a combined 20 years together. And we've been writing a lot about the future of work. And probably around May, June of last year, we started realizing that the media was really scaring people how AI is going to like steal your job. And we just didn't really think that that was true. And we kind of wanted people to be able to see the other side of the narrative and all the opportunities that AI had to bring. And both of us have backgrounds that really lent themselves to the start of this project. So I've been working with knowledge worker communities all around the world to help them upskill and take control of their careers as freelancers and consultants. And Ivo's done a lot of work as it relates to creating indexes and scoring, and also creating tools for agents. So with his company Remote First Institute, and also with AI Mentor. And so we decided to actually kick off a bit of a research project to get the data to present the other side of this story. And we had a lot of different questions that we wanted to answer as it related to this particular research. And some of this was like, what does AI adoption even mean? Because if you're using ChatGPT just to ask questions instead of Google, versus advanced prompt engineering versus OpenAI API on the back end of things, then it's really different, right? You might say, yes, I'm using ChatGPT, but the answer is totally, totally different. And we wanted to know what those types of applications of usage were. Is someone using it for automation, for augmentation? Are there things that they're just simply not using it for at all? Who's resisting the most, who's adopting the most, and what's the psychological impact, knowing that everyone's probably having both positive and negative experiences with it. So we thought, let's get all of this data, let's see how we can predict the future, and we ended up collecting 85 data points from every user that goes through. So how did we go about collecting this information? I think traditionally when you're conducting research, you have two really main options here. One is to conduct user research interviews. And these are really great for getting in-depth exploratory qualitative insights, because I can just ask you these deeper questions. You can tell me a narrative about all of this. But some of the challenges with that is that it's super time consuming. And because it was just us, we didn't have the time to, have interviews with as many people as we wanted to get all of this data and information from. But, we still wanted that aspect of rapport and all of the positives that come from interviews. But alternatively, you might use something like a survey where it's less exploratory by nature, because you kind of have to know the answers to create the survey before someone can select them, of course. And it's nice because you get that structured data, but at the same time, you lose out on some of that narrative. And so we decided that we were not happy with taking any of the concessions with either of these options. And so we actually created a conversational AI agent. And really, anyone who knows me knows that I like the best of both worlds, and I want to have my cake and eat it too. And that's really kind of the method that we employed here with taking Eva's background and building these agents as well. And what's fantastic about agentic AI and with the conversations is that you get all of those great insights that you would in the exploratory nature of an interview. You get the scalability from a survey, and you also get the ability to structure that data through ETL pipelines on the back end. So you kind of get a little bit of the best of all of these different worlds. But what we also found was a bit of a hidden benefit too, is that when it comes to completion rates, if we look at the take rate for interviews or the completion rates for surveys, they're actually traditionally quite low. But with conversational AI to collect this data, we actually had over an 80% completion rate of people who started to those that went all the way through the interview. And the other kind of perk that we found too is we can support so many different languages. So between us, I think we speak 5 or 6 languages, but by using conversational AI, we actually can support over 100 different languages because we're LLM agnostic. So that was kind of the methodology of how we wanted to go about this research in the first place. So how did it work? How did we collect this? And eventually, how does it turn into the tool that we're going to be teaching you how to leverage for free today? So first, anyone can talk to this conversational agent for around 15 minutes. It's actually average of 14 minutes. And they immediately get all of these incredible data insights and benchmarks against their peers. So like a marketer is going to be benchmarked against another marketer, not a software developer that's been doing this for 20 years. So relevant benchmarks. And there's this layered analysis. Not only do we have the ability for individuals to see how they're doing, but we can also assess entire teams and organizations to see how they're doing and tracking against those goals that they may have when it comes to learning and development or implementation or governance and so forth. And really tailor all of these actions to where they are in their journey, which makes it pretty unique and pretty special. Eva, I'll get you to perfect. And so what we have done is when someone finishes their conversation, individuals can get their reports immediately. But again, with these team reports, what we found was that they offer that insight on a team level to anyone within the organization and also to consultants, digital transformation experts that would be helping. So Eva's going to show you a quick demonstration of some of the features on the team report that you can see, but we're just going to do a flyby because I really want to get into some of the consulting stuff and workshop elements that we have in store for you today.
Yeah, so just to really quickly an overview, what will be possible for you to share to clients. So this is an example of a team report. Some of the stuff that you can see here are the scores, are the around the performance of the team, and already you can start seeing some of the benchmarks. Then you're going more in depth. You're talking about the usage frequency. Then you can also show the gap that the client has. So in general, just a very short overview. There's a lot of data that once collected either through as an individual or as a team, then can be generated and presented to the client. So this is one of the options that you have. Of course, the system allows you to play more of the data, to show it also in different ways. So it's just a sneak peek. Erin, back to you.
Awesome. And a lot of this is just to provide context on some of the different data that we're allowed to offer back through, because it just went incredibly well. Like, we've collected over 200,000 data points that explores how all different types of knowledge workers in over 75 countries are leveraging AI. And this means that we have over 36,000 interview minutes and over 122,000 messages that have been analyzed. So the timeline and journey has been really interesting. Like, we really started as this research project, and then we just kept following people asking for the value. So one, people were saying, we want this for our whole teams after they saw the individual reports. And once we had those team reports that you just saw the flyby, we had consultants, digital transformation experts, and AI experts that said, we really need this for our practice, because especially if you're a small agency or an independent operator, it's super challenging to get access to these types of tools and benchmarks that are typically reserved for some of these really massive consulting firms. And the landscape when it comes to AI is changing so drastically and so quickly. Like, this is the slowest the change will ever be. So we really wanted to take a look at the market and say, how can we help different people to really interact with these tools and leverage them? So Ivo has been doing a lot of work and research over the past year on AI consulting and transformation. So he's actually going to show you some of these market insights now and give you like a bit of the zoom so we can come back in on the context to help you out.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Erin. So from my side, I wanted to show you the opportunity, the challenges, and also what is really changing in how the consulting could work. So first of all, the market is gigantic and will be even bigger. So $12 trillion. This is the value of the global digital transformation market, estimated by 2032. So opportunity is there, but with the opportunity, there are also changes. And my bet, my controversial statement here is this year, a two-person AI consultancy will outbid McKinsey for a gigantic contract with Fortune 500. This is my bet. And I'm curious if you agree with me or disagree. So for those that just recently joined, we're using Slido. So you can scan this QR code or go to slido.com and put this code. But we're voting. And let's see what are the results. So, so far, yes, totally. Okay. That's great. Maybe. Okay. So we have some like, yeah, maybe, but not sure. No chance. Okay, cool. Let's see, 50%. Okay. So let's see, still 50. So we still believe that it will happen. Could happen this year, could happen next year, or maybe won't. Okay, so let's do last 5 seconds. And let's see what we'll be doing there. Ooh, maybe it's getting closer to totally. Oh, wow. Okay. So 3, 2, 1. Okay. Different points of view. Definitely that this is something that that sparks some thoughts. So let's see what will happen, and let's revisit this in a few months or maybe next year. So having this in mind, the disruption is already here, and as you can see from headlines, all the giants are restructuring, are adjusting to the new world. And I think one of the best ways to put it, like how does the shift look like right now, is that we're moving from knowledge economy to allocation economy, or we're allocating resources because the knowledge is there, right? So in this world, this is where the AI first consulting will be really booming, and I would love to show you what it really means and what are the forces that will be driving this change. So let's see the old world versus the new world. So in the old world, business model, mostly time-based billing. In the AI first model, it's an outcome-driven pricing. And you can see this actually happening at larger and larger scale in the software side. So some companies are trialing not to have a subscription, but to pay for an outcome, for a resolved ticket, etc. And then same applies for consulting. I would like to have an outcome that I pay for, not just for the hours, okay? But not even just a document, but maybe what this document, what kind of input impact it would have on my ROI. Then the target market. I think this is a huge opportunity that is also driving this explosion of the value of the total market, is that it's no longer just the enterprises that can really afford a high quality consulting, but it's actually the SMBs, because the operations and the products will be so much AI powered and scalable, okay? Then the third aspect, it's no longer about gigantic teams. No. Now it's you, the expert, or a team of experts, and then hundreds of agents that are working alongside with you to deliver this project, okay? Then speaking about the delivery, it's no longer manual from time to time. No, now you are able to do it automatically on a recurring basis. And the same goes for the impact validation. Like, clients are always asking, okay, but what's the impact, right? So here you can start thinking how you can provide this validation a real time. And then we all know Excel and PowerPoint, but right now it's no longer about them. It's about agents, workflows. So it's a complete also change in the tool stack that consultants will be using. And then, of course, last but not least, we're no longer limited by the human capacity. We can provide the one-to-one AI-powered support. So this is a huge shift that is happening right now, right? You have no choice. You need to position yourself now or be left behind. So you need to be very proactive. You need to experiment. You need to rethink. And given that there are challenges that we have already when we are working with our clients. So I'm curious, with all of these shifts happening, what are your biggest challenges in capturing this $12 trillion opportunity? So if you just recently joined, go to slido.com, and then we have options as use cases that is hard to identify ones, or how to differentiate, or how to build the credibility, or maybe it's actually about finding the right leads that you can offer your services. Maybe it's the value, like how you can prove the ROI, or maybe it's the budget. So there's a lot. I'm curious to hear what are the most common that you see in your day-to-day practice right now. Okay, so far we have the credibility. So building credibility without a large brand behind us. Okay, the number two, finding leads that are ready for AI. Okay, then the how to differentiate, then the insights, then the use cases, and then the budget. This is very interesting, right? The budget is the last one. Right now, everyone is so crazy about AI that budget is not the case. Interesting. I think this is super interesting. Okay, let's give it a 3 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we have 2 winners, sales and credibility. Amazing. Thank you so much for contributing. So the big picture is change. Then there are different areas how this AI first consultancy will look like, right? And I would like you to do a short quiz. We'll do it together before we go back to Erin to see how AI ready is your consulting. So I will show you 6 different dimensions, and we'll be voting, and let's see how we stack. So there are 6 forces that are reshaping the consulting, right? The first one, the SMB market explosion. When we're talking about building this AI native consultancy. So let's jump into Slido to join the quiz. So here you need to join the quiz. You can add your name or add anything. It can be any word or like a number, whatever. So we just see people joining. Amazing. Thank you so much. Amazing. Hello, hello, everyone. So many names. Super cool. So let's give it a 3 more seconds and we start the quiz right now. Okay, so the first question, how do you approach the small and medium business markets? You primarily serve enterprise clients with larger budgets, or you've already built scalable solutions for businesses of all sizes? Okay, cool. You've already built these scalable solutions, which is the preferred option for the AI first consulting business. Kudos to those that mark this one. Perfect. So the second component of these forces is the data democratization. And I'm curious to hear how it looks like on your end right now. So what is the approach to data in your consulting practice? Is it mostly about proprietary frameworks that you offer to clients, or you already utilize unique data assets with insights and benchmarks? Okay, equally. Thank you. So obviously, yes, the more unique data, the more insights, the more benchmarks, the more preferred this is for the AI native consulting. Then we have the third aspect, which is a niche specialization. So let's see how niche ready are you? So the question is, how specialized is your consulting offering? The first option, we maintain broad expertise, or you're hyper specialized in expertise for different intersections. So, amazing, cool. So, as you can see, as you can guess, obviously the second option is the preferred for the AI first consulting. So kudos to you. Then we have the fourth force, which we discussed a bit, outcome-based pricing. So we're getting ready for an outcome-based pricing. How do you structure your client engagements right now? Primarily time material, or it's actually already based on outcomes? So let's see how we start here. Amazing. Congratulations to 68%. Very good. Then fifth force, service productization. We're all talking about productizing services way before AI. So I'm curious, how scalable is your current service delivery model? Is it about adding new consultants when you're scaling, or you already build productized services that you can scale without adding more people? And probably you've guessed the right answer, or like the AI first answer here. So obviously it's about productizing services. And then last but not least, going into the part of Erin with the setting up your lead magnet. So it's about personalizing how you drive demand. And one of the options here is actually the top of the funnel, the discovery. So I'm curious if you already offer any sort of free assessments or edits as part of your offering. Yes or no? And we have 71% offers. Amazing. Super cool. So congratulations to leaders. Congratulations to Brian, to Ronnie, Tim Smith, Bruce, and Janet. Amazing. So I wanted just to wrap up on the part where we will be discussing right now and showing you in practice how to set up this lead generation. It really is crucial to understand that it's not just about AI in the delivery, but it's actually about AI in client acquisition. And one of the biggest values that you can provide to your prospects, not yet clients, is that it's a value first engagement. So it's not about pitching, it's about offering something upfront for free. And then, of course, once this is happening, then you can convert this data and provide these clients, prospects, still prospects, with some actionable insights still as you do it. And then last but not least, then based on this whole flow, you can position yourself and offer next steps based on what just happens. And this is everything happening on top of the funnel for free, instead of someone's downloading another ebook that no one reads, or like doing a static survey. This is the magic that AI gives you, that Erin will show you in a second. What is the whole magic about? So Erin, over to you.
Sounds great. And I'm going to start driving now just because I'm going to be hopping around quite a few windows here. And so let me share this whole window. But speaking of which, this is going to be a bit of a live workshop. So if you want to put us into one tab on the side, what I'm actually going to be showing you is a step-by-step guide that you could do alongside me to set this up. So like I said, we wanted to give you the ultimate lead generation playbook and guide. I'm going to walk you through not just how to leverage our tool to do this for free, but we have like a whole boatload of sales enablement materials that are available to you, which after seeing some of the results of some of these surveys, making sure that we have sales targeted, then this is one of the most important things. So the first thing that we are going to do today is I'm going to walk you through how to launch your agent. So this is how do you create your account. Ivo has already shared the link on where you can start to do this alongside me in the chat. So make sure that you go to the chat to see that there. I'm going to show you how to set up this agent that you can use for top of funnel leads. And again, you see this preview on the right-hand side. This is what you're going to be able to embed on your website by the end of this call. So within the next 30 minutes max. I'm going to teach you how you can go about sharing that with a couple of options. I'm going to show you all about the Sales Resource Center and sales enablement of how you can position your kind of AI advising, consulting, digital implementation, learning and development, whatever you're offering. We have some materials to help and support you. And then how can you really leverage that data to close the leads once you have them coming through the top of funnel here? So buckle up, let's get started. And let's go through here. So this is the first thing that you're actually going to see when you go to the link that we've shared with you in the chat. And Ivo's going to keep sharing it in the chat just because we have people who are going to be joining. So if you miss it, don't worry, you're going to see it here shortly. But if you click onto this tab to sign up, if this is your first time coming to our platform, you're going to want to do that. Make sure that you choose whatever login method that you want. I'm just going to go through and make another live demo account so I can show you the onboarding process here. So I'm using my email and password, and I'm going to hit sign up. And it's going to bring you to the onboarding wizard. We're going to breeze through this because you're getting a live onboarding with all of us. But if you want to go back through this in your own time, then just let us know. We can also help you out a little bit later. So first things first, as we said, we're going to show you how to work with the free tool that we have today. So when you get to this page here, you can select this free version. At the end of the call, I'm going to tell you about some of the differences between the plan. But again, we wanted to make sure that anyone really could come into this session and not have to spend anything to get value from it. So go ahead once you've registered to click on the free plan here, and you can click next. You can enter all of your name, your quick job title, and your company name, because this is just going to set up your account so that you can see when you log in. When you have time, you can always come back and watch this platform overview. But as I mentioned, you're getting the live pre-screen with us. So it's just Ivo and I talking a little bit more as we have today, which hilariously, I'm noticing we're wearing our same uniform, Ivo, our black t-shirts in all of these calls. But this is one step.
I don't think so.
Startup uniform, I think. But one thing that I do want you to do and take some time to do after we go through this setup, if you haven't done it already, is go through the experience yourself. Because when we start talking about offering these free assessments to your clients, and you might be clicking this on your website, we want to make sure that you know what the experience that they're going to be having is. So you see this here in your onboarding. You can click Talk to Agent if you want to do that now. But if you click this Complete Setup button, you're also going to see a reminder of when you can actually go through and do this again. So you see complete this self-assessment. At some point, I'm going to recommend that you go through and do that so that you can see what your results are. You can see what it's going to look like to your customers as well. So not right now, but if you haven't done it, please go ahead and do it. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to set up our first project. And so our project is going to be really the area where we're going to bucket all of these different leads that are coming through the top of funnel. So I'm going to hit start. I'm going to call this my first project. You can call this your top of funnel. You can call this your lead magnet. Whatever you want this project to be named, you can choose that. And you can create your agent name. So the difference between a project and an agent. A project is the area where you're going to be applying this. So let's say you have one particular client. Let's say that you're going to put this on your website. That's the project. And then we have the agent that you're going to get the static one that we have now. It's the one that is set up where you can get all these benchmarks. But in some of our other plans, you can actually customize your agent, add in some of your own questions that they can go through. You could add in different branding and all kinds of different things. So for today, I'm just going to say that this is my first agent. This is a standard one, and I'm going to click the create project button. And that's all the setup that we need to do today. So congratulations, you've created your account and you've created your first agent and project. But now what do we do with it, right? Because nobody's going to see this in your account to generate those leads. Well, you have a couple of options. If we go to project, this is kind of your centralized dashboard of where you're going to start seeing all of these different leads come in. But the first thing we have to do is we have to share this out to different people. So at the very top, you're going to see the option to copy the link. This is your unique chat link to that specific agent. So what can you do with this particular link? Well, one, you can add a button onto your website where it's going to redirect to this particular link, and people can complete that, and you'll start to see their information coming through into the dashboard here. I'm going to show you what that looks like in a minute. But we have another option for functionality. You have the option to copy and embed iframe and put that directly onto your website. And I actually did this yesterday on our website. So if you go to aimaturityindex.com/individuals, you can see exactly what that iframe looks like. You scroll down, and not only do we have different buttons in different places where someone can open this in a new tab, that's using that URL that I mentioned, but we also have the embedded iframe where someone doesn't even need to leave this page. They can go through and complete this entire journey on their own. So those are some of your options of different places you can put it. We have all different types of places where you can consider putting this as well. So let's say you want to go to an event and you're going to be at a conference, you're going to be at a meetup or hosting a webinar like this, even for some of your clients. You can share that link with people there or have a QR code that is placed in your slides, for example, similar to how we were doing Slido today. So you can actually have people going through this, provide the value to them of having that individual report, and also collecting some information about different ways that you might be able to help them, right? You can also do direct sales outreach. Add this as a new offering to any of the outreach that you're doing to offer almost like a free audit and free type of service for people at the very beginning of your conversation with them. It could be existing or past client outreach. So maybe it's a reason for you to reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while or haven't worked with in a while. And you can also start creating content about it. So guest posts and blogs, different newsletters, social media, etc. So there's all different types of places that you can share this particular link, and then you can share that embed frame depending on the assets and digital presence that you have. But if you're not super comfortable with selling, don't worry. Your success is our success. So if you look in the platform here, you're going to see this button that says resources on the side. And we've put a whole bunch of different sales enablement materials and resources for you to use of different places you can maybe include this agent and link to give out to people. When you open that up, it's going to bring you to this whole AI Maturity Index Partner Knowledge Hub. And we have this fantastic sales toolkit that is in here for you. We have a sales deck that is a template that you can enter your information on. We have editable Canva templates for one-pagers that you can share with people, different case studies that you can leverage, and every little bit of copy that you could possibly imagine, whether it's for your website, it's social posts, it's cold outreach, warm outreach, you name it. We have some tips on how to run meetings, pricing guides, pretty much everything that you could possibly need to share out this link. This is all part of your playbook. So feel free to log in, explore all of these resources. They really are here to help you. Your success is our success. So once you go through here and you start sharing it, ideally, you have tons and tons and tons of people who are registering and getting this free report and free activity for you. I'm going to go into the demo project because we have some data in here. You can see what that actually is going to look like. So if I see users, this is where I can see everybody who has come through my special and unique link. I'm going to be able to see their email and contact information. I see their name, their job title, industry, maybe what their score is. Maybe someone with a low score is someone I should reach out to for sure, right? But I can also view their report and see where some of their strengths and weaknesses are and really tailor my outreach to this person in that particular way. Let's say they're very strong in one of the dimensions like decision making, but they're really lacking in somewhere like productivity. You can make sure that you're tailoring your service offering and whatever you're going to be helping them with based off of that information. So make sure that you're being creative in the ways that you're reaching out, because all of this is fantastic insights that traditionally you might have to get someone on the phone to do a discovery call with, right? You have their basic contact information and basic information about them in terms of role and industry, but really nailing that pain point and you being that aspirin that they're looking for, that's what's going to close deals for you. So make sure that you're leveraging this as that specific reason to reach out. You're giving them a gift of a free tool and a free audit that you can offer them at scale because it's productized, as Eva was mentioning. And you're able to basically get on a call with them of saying, hey, let's go through those results together. It's immediately personalized and immediately something that they can get value from. That was a ton of information. So we're going to continue over here to a little bit of audience Q&A because I bet a lot of you are actually starting to go through this. And actually, I think you'll have to share the Q&A Slido on yours, Ivo.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I thought that I muted. Yeah, we do have.
And once we start going through Q&A as well, we wanted to leave a lot of time for this, just knowing that you guys would be starting to work on this. I'm also going to show you a little bit about those extra features that we have that you can customize if you'd like in some of the paid plans too. But wanted to pause because I know some of you are probably already started on setting this up right now.
Yep. Cool. So we can get going. Why there are the right answers? I believe this is regarding to my quiz. It's not necessarily the right answer. It was the answer that is empowering you towards the AI first consultancy. And how Slido is set up is that you need to define the right answer out of the ones. So this is just approach that helps you go into the AI first consultancy mode more efficiently. Cool.
Eva, could you share the QR code on your screen again for that, just in case people have lost it on their device?
Yes, you don't see it on the screen?
Not right now, no.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so then maybe I can join. Okay, interesting.
Or if you have the link there that we can, or the code we can pop in the chat, that would work as well.
Yes, let's do it this way. So let me. Okay, so join at slido.com. Maybe like this, and then put the code 230-4544, and then I'm going back to Q&A. And okay, someone wants to join the meeting. Okay, cool. So the first question answered. Second, so what do you see right now, by the way?
I don't see your screen at all, to be honest. I just see your beautiful face.
Really? Oh, rookie mistake. I'm not sharing the screen. Congratulations, Eva. Congratulations. Very good. Yeah, amazing. Okay, cool. Okay, getting back to serious mode.
As you said, guys, it's our first time, so we'll have some growing pains as we run these.
Okay, but it's on me, not on the platform, so I feel very good about this. Okay, cool. So the first comment I answered. Okay, so we move for Erin. Your next one is to you.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for the shout out. I know a lot of you that are joining have seen our journey for a really long time. So we appreciate you seeing the fact that we've come from something that was a very small passion project into something that's delivering a lot of value. So thank you for shouting out. But yeah, let's see. Leslie, hey Leslie, nice to see you. Thanks for coming. Would love your insights. Largely working with clients who have bad data and it negatively influences their AI experience during implementation. I mean, it's tough, right? Because I know, especially everyone in the room, we've probably been preaching garbage in, garbage out. And I think that's a big part of AI in general, is that you're only as good as the data that goes into it. But it depends on really like the angle that you're looking at your AI consulting as well, right? Are you there to help them in almost like ideation and strategy and implementation, where you can really set some data governance and data stewardship best practices in place for them? Is it something where you want to provide this as a service for them and just straight up do it so they can take their hands off and enjoy it? Like, I think the world is your oyster a little bit into the way that you can kind of position it. But maybe, Ivo, you have some thoughts around like data stewardship as it relates to AI too.
Yeah, it's a huge topic. So I would love to take it. I would love to take it offline. But yeah, but data, like in our case, what is I think also easier is that you're actually interacting with that fresh data, because the input from employees that is unstructured, and then we're turning this into unstructured, is something that we have control over, which is different than you're coming to the customer that have like a lot of different data sets that you need to work with. But I'm more than happy, Leslie, to chat about this more. Offline. Cool. So then I can take the next one. How did you build the assessment? Which criteria? Why should they trust it? I'm sure customer will ask for it. Do you have an API? And I hope our dev team is on this call. So yes. So like Erin mentioned, last summer we got together with a few scientists at Harvard that help us structure this index to be legit. So this is the one aspect. The second aspect, obviously, we've been in the future of work change management space for quite a few years, and we've been building this kind of solutions. Myself included, 3 years ago, we built Remote Work Score as a part of the Remote First Institute projects that was helping various consultants when helping companies with remote or hybrid work. And then for the past 2 years, we've been developing the conversational AI on the AIMI platform, where that was focused on building such assessment. So I would say a few different credibility points with here. So that's and API. I think it's we're thinking about it, and with MCP being right now so hot, if there is a consultant that is already utilizing MCPs or in general has their own software and would like to get in touch with us,
yeah,
please do, Nuno.
Yeah, and I would also love to add on some of the credibility as well. Is we've got some really great traction too. Like we've got people from NVIDIA, from Gartner, and all kinds of different individuals who have gone through it, both from like an evaluation standpoint or otherwise. And so it is being trusted by some pretty large leaders in the game, which is pretty cool for us too. And then the last thing I'll say is we have a data moat, right? Is what I really get geeked out about it with like kind of our business and what we're trying to accomplish here is that it's a bit crowdsourced in a way, right? Is the more people that go through this, the more data we have for benchmarks, the more data we have for benchmarks, the more value it provides for everyone, the more value, the more people that go through it. So over time, there is a lot more credibility and trust that builds because we have additional proof points that really validate that this is what's happening out in the world around us. And it's time series data that we can really measure how things change. So love the question on credibility because it's something that we're building more and more of every single day.
Exactly. I can take on quickly, and then you're on the first one. Kind of answered already about the right answer of the quiz. That was just about the AI first approach, but the other answers were absolutely not wrong in this this way. So closing it, Erin.
Great. So what are you selling to the clients? This is a fantastic question. So we showed you today one application of the tool, which is how you can kind of get those leads in the top of funnel. But we've seen consultants that started using this from our beta testing group in a number of ways. So one is selling this as an entry point audit. So you're selling a team assessment and organizational report in a way where everyone within the organization will go through the assessment process, and then you get that full view of how the organization is doing, and you can give this back to the client as a bit of an insights, data, and like really just telling them what's happening behind the scenes. And this is super valuable from a number of angles that you can upsell your services to, of course. One is learning and development. What are they doing well? What are the skills that they need to learn? Who's going to provide that training for them? That's one of the outcomes you could look at. The other is looking at large-scale technical implementations. Are they even ready for the type of technology that's going to be implemented? That's maybe a very expensive or ongoing tool implementation or AI technology built in-house. So maybe you could do that at the beginning and then at the end of this large-scale technical implementation that you're doing with them. And lastly, governance is such a huge hot topic right now when we talk about what's being used in terms of tools inside organizations. So you actually have the ability to run this anonymously, meaning your point of contact at the company doesn't need to see everyone's specific names who have used things. But when we talk about things like shadow AI that's happening in large organizations these days, Sure, maybe the company has approved a very specific usage of something like ChatGPT and OpenAI, but you have everyone going on their phone and using Claude or all these other kind of tools, and they're putting in company information there. So another application of that team report is understanding what's happening within your organization, and you can give it back to them and then upsell your services on top. So think of it as like an auditing tool or something that bolsters your existing services and offerings that can either get you in the door or to build out that kind of fully fledged soup to nuts solution there. It's a long answer, but creative ways to use it.
Very good. We have so many questions, so we're pushing through. We still have 30 minutes. Cool. So I can take on the next one. How are you going to benefit for me making prospects, going through the assessment, and then potentially engaging with them? Just license fee for higher tiers. Yes, exactly. So our pricing is based on usage. So it's a subscription based on how many people are going through the maturity index from your side, and then in higher tiers, you're also unlocking additional features. But then we're all benefiting from more and more people going through it. So then the benchmarks and the insights are becoming richer and richer. Cool. So Kenneth, thank you for the shout out. Another person that liked what we did. That's amazing. Thank you. Cool. Erin, you want to take on this one?
Yes, I also, just in response to the last question about like what is our business model, I did just share a link to our page for consultants in the chat here.
Oh, yes.
I will spend a couple of minutes to just quickly talk over some of those features as well. Like I said, everything that we showed you today is available absolutely for free, but we do have some features that you might want to pay for, and so I'll walk you through some of those. But if you want to start looking at that now while we continue going through Q&A, I've dropped the link.
I think there are quite a few questions where people can find answers. So maybe we can actually do it right now. So maybe you can take over.
Happy to. 1 second. Fantastic. So this is our page for consultants, where you're going to find a lot of information that is positioned specifically for you as someone who might be like a reseller or leveraging our tool for yourselves. So feel free to come to this site whenever you need. It's just AIMaturityindex.com/consultants, and the link is in the chat. Again, we've mentioned some of those kind of big, sexy logos here that we've been working with that can help to add to some of your credibility. But we wanted to call out some of these features. Everybody gets access to all 100 languages that we currently support. And these are a little bit of the overview of some of those use cases that we mentioned, but I really want to spend time on these additional features. So as part of our standard free plan, then this is under our branding still. So you can use this and leverage it as much as you want. AI Maturity Index is pretty neutral branding, at least. But let's say you really want it to be in your brand colors. You want it to seem like AI Maturity Index doesn't exist at all. You can fully white label our tool and solution in one of our paid tiers there. So you can make sure that you control the entire experience rather than it seeming like it's coming from us. So that's one of our key features. The other is customization, more than just the brand. So we showed you our basic agent. You actually have the ability to customize some of the questions on here. So some of the questions will be locked because this is how we have the benchmarks that remain some of that validity. But let's say you are working in healthcare industry in the US, and laws around HIPAA and data compliance is really unique to you and your situation, and you want to add additional questions and gather that when you're working with one of your clients. You can add in questions like that. So you have the ability to add in whatever that you need here. You can reorder the questions for better flow. This is one of the things that we've heard that people really want a lot. The report customization. We have our reports that you can have basically out of the box, but we know that you want to upsell a lot of your services. Maybe you have your own framework of how you deliver things on the back end of a report like this. We use a step framework, but everybody has their own way that they want to position this. So you can also customize that full report that is the output that you would be giving to your client if you have one of these additional tiers. And then something that we have in beta, which I'm personally very excited about, is this feature that is called Talk to Data. So as it stands right now, everyone can actually go through and export all of their raw data from these conversations and export all of their scores. That data you can take and you can crunch it, join it with other data on your own tools, wherever. But not all of us are really great at running SQL queries or using Excel or anything else. And maybe you just want to ask one quick question of, benchmark them to this team to another marketing team in the tech industry, for example. So Talk to Data is going to allow you to basically just have a straight up chat and conversation with the data set itself. Again, it's in beta, but it is available to our Plus tier members to kind of test drive right now as we continue to refine it. So basically, you have this free tier, which you've learned how to use today. You unlock the ability to have team reports when you look at the Essentials plan, which is this one here at $99 a month. And then if you want to do this kind of customization, you want to add these questions, even to your top of funnel type of functionality, you want to really customize it, then we have all of that available in the Plus plan here. So take a look at everything that's on this page. It's available for you whenever. But again, what we showed you here today is all available for free for you to do the top of funnel lead capture that we went through in the workshop.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Maybe for the last few minutes, we'll come back to questions because we have a lot of questions. So,
That's great.
Now don't forget to share your screen, learn. Okay, very good.
Every day is a school
And
day.
voila. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. Okie dokie. So we are back. Okay, quite like this approach, similar setup to leadership assessment tools. I consult with HR teams to get into AI, but no sense where to start. Amazing. Yes, that's it's one of the kind of inspirations that we took. So thank you for that. It has already happened for the garage company at Better Ideas. We're the big four, so why not? Okay, it's more of a comment to one of the slides. Thank you, Panas. Anonymous, also good for post-training assessment to check on learning stickness. Yes, exactly. This is one of the use cases that actually more and more consultants are mentioning to us, or like also trainers or course builders. And my theory here is that it could turn into a recurring revenue source for you if you build up a plan that is for months or even like a year, etc., where these assessments are being done on a monthly or like a quarterly basis as like a part of the training. So I think it's a very interesting comment, and I completely agree with this. Thank you so much. Another shout out. Thank you. Amazing. Heavy user of AI tools. That's great. Thank you for the shout out. Paradigm shift. Yes, you can't cover all of this. Yes. Yes. So maybe Erin, you go with some answers.
Yes.
It's not just me.
So the client gets the option of creating their individual account. How do we retain them? So I'm not sure if I totally follow this question, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to interpret it, and I apologize if I don't interpret it correctly. If I don't interpret it correctly, drop me a DM on LinkedIn or send us an email after, and we're happy to clarify if I didn't get it. But the client gets the option of doing their individual reports. Yes, this is one of the things that we taught you how to leverage today, that they can get their own individual assessment. But everyone that we typically have spoken to, especially if they're a company or a team leader, they go, gosh, it would be great for us to have this for everyone within our organization. Now, if you're saying, how do I retain them? As if maybe they just get that one report and they never want to come back. We do actually have a toggle that I didn't show you today that can limit if someone automatically gets the report after the conversation. So there's a few instances where you may want to use this. One is in your top of funnel sales. Maybe you don't want them to get the report. They have to book a call with you to get the report. You can hold it hostage if you want. But the other instances is when you're running a team evaluation and analysis, is sometimes, let's say you are doing training or you are doing a workshop, you may want people to be able to do this in the days or weeks leading up to that workshop, but you don't want them to have the results just yet. You want them to everybody get the results all at once. That's why we really created this toggle, so that we can kind of put a pin in that, and then you can control when the information is disseminated to the group, because obviously information sharing and timing, especially as it relates to change management, can be quite important. So we have that all in the instructions, and in your panel, you can see when you set it up exactly how to do that. I hope that I answered the question correctly. My apologies.
Yeah, Ahmad, if you have some follow-ups, please don't hesitate to reach out. Maybe Erin, you can drop in our email in the chat. Rushing through, we have last 4 minutes and a lot of questions. So here for this question, I want to show the answer on the platform. Can you see the responses that client provide to the assessment? Yes, you can. So here is my screen, and I'm on the project. So here are the statistics. Here's the talk to data that Erin mentioned, and here is the activity. So you can see, of course, this is a demo account where how people are answering, what stages, etc. So you have like the full visibility. Aside from the users that are already joined, and you can look up their chats and reports. Perfect. So I'm going back to Q&A mode. And so I hope, Cam, that it helps. Slide paradigm shift. Okay, I didn't close it. Thank you, Brian. Creating tool like this would be a great value. Thank you. Thank you. Rani, is it possible to customize the questions? I would love to read the research you're basing of self-assessment form. Perfect. So I will just quickly show you, I have 3 minutes left, how you can customize it. So basically, yeah, because I'm on the free account, so let me then just quickly
yeah, sorry guys, we have a million different demo accounts of trying to test these different features, so we'll have to log into different permissions.
Okay, so let me just quickly go here, and then I go whatever I can. Let's see. Yeah, example company. Maybe I will be able to edit this one. Configure agents, and then you can go to stages, and then you could be adding the stages here, so you can actually customize it. Cool. Last 2 minutes.
Yes, maybe we can talk a little bit about next steps
yes,
as well. Might be helpful.
Please.
So
Yes.
in terms of next steps, you have access to all of the information that we showed you today in the platform directly. So that link has been shared in the chat. I'm going to share it again here for those that are late joiners that came afterwards. But you can access all of this information and set up your free top of funnel agent today. We're going to send out a recap email of everything that we talked about today, including the recording and access to the slides. So if you want to revisit this information, you can do that. You can also always contact us. There's buttons on our website with forms if you have questions. We want to make sure that we can help you with whatever that you might need in terms of setting this up. So again, you saw that we're building quickly. We're constantly adding features. If you have a question and you get stuck, tell us, we'll fix it. If you find a bug and you get stuck, tell us, we'll fix it. If you want a new feature that we simply haven't thought about, tell us and we'll build it. So we want to make sure that you have everything that you need. The conversation doesn't end just because the call is ending. So just hop to the website, reach out, add us on LinkedIn, and we're going to try and host more of these events, maybe once a month, that talk about different ways that you can leverage the tool to advance your practices. So that's everything we've got for you today, I think.
Yes, it was really an honor, and I think we felt the energy, especially looking at the number of questions. So as Erin just said, I'm quickly copy pasting our LinkedIn so we can become, as Erin says, LinkedIn friends. I just shared them in the chat, but it was really lovely. We're on time. We're here for you. If you have any questions, let us know. Thank you so much for joining. We're sending good vibes your way, and we'll be in touch and see you somewhere in the world, virtually or in person.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, everyone. Ciao.